Here we go again. Today, we're back. We're reacting to my Week 7 NFL predictions. Last week I went 8-7, so, let's see how I did in this
Hey,
one.
hey. So today, predictions. Bengals just
Alright.
played probably
Pretty
the
sure I said the
best
Bengals
game
here. Let's
in a
just
minute.
hope I'm right.
My
Because,
pick,
I don't think I got the...
and I hate
I think
I
I did
hate
better
saying
this
it,
week, though.
but I'm gonna say
Off the
Bengals
brain, I think I did better.
cover, but Steelers win. I just think,
Alright, Steelers didn't win, but I was right. The Bengals did cover. So,
at
we'll
home,
take that,
I just like the Steelers' offense season. So, Steve Puka's gonna miss his prep.
Okay, so...
He torched them last year as well.
I can't hear this
I'm gonna
guy,
say
bro. He's...
Jaguars +3.
Oh, brother. I could hear that.
Team. Little overrated. They won that game against the Colts. That well either. You know, if they had, built Brian Callahan in there still, I would say the Pats.
Uh-huh.
But since 2020, you know, teams that fire their coach are 9-2 against. I think it's 9.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
You always got to go with the
9-2 against.
statistical shit, The stats don't lie at the end of the day. They're like 9-2. You can't argue with that, bro. Like
week after since 2020, like I said.
that's a good
I'm
metric to go
saying
on.
historically, and they should under Mike McCoy. The Raiders are really bad.
And they
right
didn't,
now.
but it's all good.
Bauer's still out. I don't think Myers is gonna play.
He didn't play, so right there.
Chiefs' run defense is decent. They did a good job against Gibbs and Monty this past week.
Hey, Genty had 6 touches on the run game. So again, I'm right.
There were two guys
I don't know.
that
Chris
usually
Jones been
combine
locking
for,
in,
like,
bro. After I talked
120,
all that shit against the in the Jaguars
80,
game, when he was
80,
fucking
90-ish. I'm gonna say
his
the
controller
Chiefs.
died.
I'm not gonna
Bang.
overthink this.
Bang.
Third one here. The Eagles, they're coming off 2 losses.
Come on.
The Vikings might have JJ back. I don't think so. But my pick, I think the Eagles get back on track.
Bang. Let's go,
I
baby.
do. And it's like, I know,
Bang.
last week against the Giants they struggled. But, this is a good chance for them to get back on track.
And they did.
Wentz.
They had a
It's
good
not
game. I think this is the best game I've seen Hurts ever play in the regular season. Genuinely. His 2 best games as a quarterback are probably in the Super Bowl. He's been insanely good in both those games. But on Sunday against the Vikings,
if it was JJ,
he played beautifully. His
Vikings,
deep ball was working. He was,
Carson in there.
Brown and Smith had
don't
300
think,
receiving
I
yards.
think the
Like,
Eagles just eat him up.
that was
I
fucked
know
up,
they
bro.
struggle off the edge this year, but they're gonna force him to throw it. And I just think the Eagles are the better team overall. This is now here, Jettis probably scores in this one. Jettis or Addison definitely score.
Okay, Addison scored. Jettis dropped a touchdown. So, good stuff there.
I mean, I have to say Carolina. If the Jets win, all props to them. There's no world where I could say anything different here.
The Jets played so bad. Fields
Jets
got benched.
6.
I think he's gonna get benched. I think Tyrod's gonna start this week, bro, for week
Their
8.
best players injured.
They're playing Cincy. I mean, that's a
the
winnable game
game
if they ever had one.
where they played terribly.
I mean, they should have won week 1 against the
this is a game where
fucking
we
Steelers, bro. They were up 10 and they choked. Like,
see
I don't
Tyrod
get
coming
that.
For Fields if he's playing
Their
that
defense
bad
played
again.
well back-to-back
So,
weeks. They just can't do it.
I
When
mean,
Bryce
I
got
think it's
hurt, they
pretty
couldn't
self-explanatory.
capitalize.
Coker's back, which is huge for
And this guy's kind of
Carolina's
handsome,
pass
though.
game.
Shit.
So Hubbard's going to be back, which is also big for their pass game and the run game, of course.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not gonna overthink that one. It's probably Carolina.
And it was. It wasn't beautiful. Rico and Hubbard, the 1A, 1B, just wasn't clicking it fully, but
Another
it
weird
works
one.
at the end of the day.
The Browns and Dolphins. I mean, I want to, keep saying Miami.
So that's 4-2 on that then.
Yeah, but they're just so bad, man. Like, last week they literally missed 2 tackles on Herbert that led to points. So I'm gonna say Cleveland. I'm gonna say Gabriel gets his first win. Their defense is elite, and the Dolphins' defense is probably bottom 3.
True.
So
And I was
I'm
right.
gonna say
They
the
had,
Browns,
did have a pick six and 3
run
picks
game
and
with
3 fumble
Judkins, Sampson.
forced.
That'll work. I know Njoku's out, but I feel like at home they'll be able to get this one done. You know, Miami doesn't have a lot going for them defensively and offensively. Not much more besides A-Chain, Waddle, and Waller. Now here, the Bears
Okay,
coming off
5-2. We like that
Monday
start
night win,
from the kid.
short week, short rest for them.
Ooh, I don't know what I
Saints
took.
coming off
I think I said the Saints, bro.
a weird game.
Fuck.
So where they had chances to win against the Pats,
I think I
but
said
they
the
just could not
Saints.
get it done. I'm gonna, the Bears' run defense is bad. DJ Moore might miss this one.
He didn't
I'm gonna
miss.
say the Saints because they've done it all year. They've
That's
done
an L.
better than
That's
I
an L for
expected.
the kid,
I
bro.
thought the Saints might go 0-17, genuinely, and they look like a team that's gonna win 4, 5, 6 games. I think this is a week where they could sneak it. Are the Bears gonna win? Probably, but
Probably.
4.5 seems a little high. Just like last week against it was Miami versus the Chargers. It's just like
Hey, they had the chances. They did. I think they only lost by, I want to say 10, bro. Like, let's look here. They lost by 12. They had a chance. Rattler had 3 picks, in a fumble. Kendrick Miller got hurt. That kind of hurt the run game. Kamara played terrible again. I want to see Devin Neal get more involved, genuinely, because
DJ Moore's
I don't think
loss.
Kamara's doing much for them,
today,
and they got to see what they got in a young kid they
He had a groin
drafted
injury
right now.
Monday night.
Again, I'm not going to be mad at myself on that one. The Saints played pretty well this season, considering how bad the roster is. Are the Bears better? Yep. Or the Bears should cover in that game, and they did. But,
So I
can't always be right.
Saints. I'm not going to overthink it anymore.
Oh, well,
Now
at least
here,
I'm happy the Broncos won.
I know the public is on the Giants here,
Okay, and the public wins.
and I don't blame them, because Denver played like shit for most of that game last week, disappointingly. And the Giants, they got the 2 rookies, even 3 with Abdul Carter, but Broncos are, having a ceremony for my GOAT, Demaryius Thomas. I feel like that's going to spark them. I feel like the offense is going to get moving early. The Giants' run defense is still one of the worst groups in the league. So,
see, it's like I just say shit sometimes where I'm like looking back and I look like a fucking idiot. They did not do anything for 3 quarters at all. Their best chance to score, they threw to a fucking lineman. So,
say Broncos -7.
You can always be wrong. I like the Giants. I think they're a good team. I genuinely think they'll be on the edge of playoffs this year. Going forward, they're going to be a good team. They got a good quarterback.
I think Broncos probably win this game by 2 touchdowns. So.
I'm happy. I'm happy my team won.
Now,
another
Colts and Chargers.
Great
the best
game.
team in the NFL is not favored. I hate to say it, because it's just like last week, where I said, as Lions Chiefs, most people are going to take the Colts. And I hate saying it because as a Broncos fan, but it's Chargers money line.
Yeah. Okay. On this one, unfortunately, Vegas was with me, the public was against me, and the Colts won again. They just cannot be stopped. They're the most efficient offense ever through 7 weeks. I do not understand it. Jonathan Taylor's insane. Tyler Warren, Daniel Jones, not making mistakes. I've never seen Daniel Jones play like this. I don't understand what I'm watching on the football field, bro. Did the Chargers have chances? Of course. They score 24 points. You expect, to be in a good game. They are a very good defensive team. They're huge on, not giving up a lot of points. And they could not stop the defense. Their defense could not stop the Colts offense at all. Herbert had 2 picks. One was bad. One was unlucky on a tip ball. But, Did the Chargers have any chance of winning that game? Not at all. The closest the game was 6-3. You know, it's like they kept bringing it back from like 3 touchdowns to 2, but you know they couldn't do anything.
Worse besides
Their
Taylor.
O-line is just so terrible. Alt's hurt, Becton's hurt, Slater's hurt. I mean, you know, Chargers fans want to complain, you know, oh, we were 3-0 and then we dropped, you know, we're 4-3 now. But like, you know, if the Broncos had 3 O-linemen hurt,
Chargers
knock
are
on
a
wood,
much
but
better defensive group with Jesse Minter.
they wouldn't be good either.
And at
Like
home,
nobody's succeeding with that.
It's
Win. You know, and then their first round running backs hurt.
Herbert's got to get back
like
on
that's
track.
terrible,
I feel like this
man.
is a good game to do it.
So 5-5 for me then.
Packers Cardinals. Now, the Packers might be the most overrated team in football. I'm not gonna lie.
Cook. Right on there.
The Cardinals probably without Marvin Harrison Jr.
No, he did play
probably
somehow.
without Kyler Murray again. And obviously Connor's hurt and Benson's hurt. And it's only 6.5 away, you know, at home.
With Jacoby Brissett.
I'm gonna say the Cardinals, man.
Hey, let's go, bro. I already knew I got that one right.
I don't think the Packers are that good. I just don't see them.
And they're not. And they played a really close game. They only won by 3, maybe 3 or 4. I think it was 4 actually. Parsons was the difference. I think he had 2.5 sacks, maybe.
Well enough, bro. Like Jacobs is gonna do. You know, he's going to get his.
I think Jacobs had 2 touchdowns. So, again, right on.
Packers, again, they probably win this game, but I think, you know, the Cardinals are a good shout.
Bang, bang.
Probably make this a close game like they did against the Colts.
And now the Cardinals have played 5 games in a row where they've lost by a combined 13 points, I believe. So, you know, they're going to get their coach fired, but I'm not sure he's the problem there.
Washington, Dallas. Now, Washington's off a loss, of course. But, you know, Dallas's defense looks really, really bad. And CeeDee Lamb's probably back. And it's like, you know, every sign looks, you know, it's like, why not the Cowboys, right?
I thought I got this one right.
And, you know, I so badly, you know, as a Dak, you know, owner in fantasy, you know, Cowboys win. No,
Go with your gut, bro. Go with your gut, bro. Come on, bro.
I think this
guy doesn't know ball.
They're a better coach team. Their defense is better. Their offense is good still. Terry might be back.
Ooh. See, the issue would be Terry wasn't back. Debo was out. Their running back was bad. Daniels got hurt. And their defense gave up 44 points. Unfortunately, you're not going to win many games with that.
Itself, even
the over did
hit. The run game for
54.5, just insane though.
I just don't think, you know, Dallas' defense can do enough. If they do, you know, then they'll win like they did.
Really, dude.
You know,
this guy's an idiot, bro. Holy hell.
Green Bay.
6-6.
Their defense just did enough, but they still gave up.
I'm gonna get 8-7
points,
again.
So.
Oh my god, bro.
But this is the highest total of the week, so it should be a shootout.
Yeah, it was for about 7 minutes.
You know, game of the week as always. Falcons, 49ers. Falcons off a big win against the Bills. It's the 49ers.
Yeah. Bang!
Without a doubt. I guarantee most of the public's on the Falcons. It seems like a game, you know, they could sneak. But the 49ers as a group look good. They had that game against the Bucs where they easily could have won, in my opinion.
Yep.
And they kept selling.
Exactly, bro.
What you know, that goes on Mac
Jones.
This
guy knows ball.
I don't think Purdy's going to be back. I don't think Pearsall's going to be back. Kittle is a huge get in this one.
Okay, so I was right until I didn't say that because Kittle had 0 receptions on 2 targets. But it's all good, bro.
Now, this game most likely goes under.
You got 20-13.
You got Ulbrich,
yes,
and you got Saleh.
So I did say the over for Dallas, and I did say the under
Bucs,
there.
Lions.
So
you know,
put
the Bucs
myself
are 5-1.
at.
They have the same.
Oh shit! I can't do math. Wait. Shit. 6-6. 8-6.
Record is a Colts.
After the 2 overs.
Tied for
two
the best record.
totals. Sorry.
Most of the money's on the Bucs plus 5.5. But No Igbuka, no Bucky, no Mike Evans.
Okay, so Ibuka played. I don't know fucking how, but whatever. Mike Evans did play. He broke his collarbone. He's out for the season. It's a brutal end to his streak of 1,000 yard seasons. He had a chance to break Jerry Rice's record, and unfortunately, that chance is gone. It was a nasty play. I've not seen many times that happen in the NFL, but
I can't justify it. I would say the Lions cover that one as well. Back home, the Bucks defense isn't very good.
bang.
I feel like that's a pretty easy one to pick. It might be that most people might like the Lions instead, but awful loss back home. I feel like they'll get back in it because they're still a top 4 team in my opinion.
Bang. Okay. I was right again, 9-6. They did play pretty good. Goff was a little iffy, but the Bucks defense actually played better than I thought they would do. So
Texans and Seahawks. Now,
I don't, I know I took the Texans here, but again, I just watched the game. They had chances, bro. It's like the 49ers a week before. Nico gets hurt. He gets a concussion. That fucking sucks. But they sold multiple times on the goal line. Stroud played like shit. They couldn't run the ball. Again, the problem for the Texans is why they're 2-4. They can't run the ball at all. Woody Marks looks like their best back. They stopped using him.
Big win
against Baltimore, right?
They're probably the better team
after
here,
he had such a good game against Tennessee.
Have a way better defensive group.
Tonight,
and I think
I think he had more usage, but Seattle's run defense is their strength. Their pass defense is their weakness. But again, when they pass the Texans, they can't do anything because their offensive line is so fucking bad.
They probably
CJ Stroud might have got sacked 6 more times again
tonight,
bro.
Wise, they have the best team. They have a better defense, or not best team, but better defense in Denver. They're coming off a bye. They're well rested.
That's true. Sounds weird saying it, but it is true.
Game against the Ravens where they dominated. I know the Ravens defense is worse in football, but this is a good game. This is still a playoff caliber team in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think
unfortunately not for the division, but it's all good.
And yeah.
But yeah, 10-6 for this week. I did better than last week. I was right on those 2 totals. The Sunday 4:20 slate, afternoon kind of hurt me a bit on the picks. I think I got 4 wrong. I would have 6 or 5, but I'm happy with that. So